but very friendly. The FSMA is flexible for small farmers. If your 3-year annual sales less than 500,000 and you distribute it within 275 miles, and your end user is directly to consumers, restaurants, and retail foods, you don't have to go through the verification, the regulated by FSMA. What are the examples of these persons? West Virginia small farmers. So if you produce anything less than 500,000 in the southern part of the West Virginia, then you sell at Morgantown Farmers Market on Saturday. That within 275 miles. It's a good example for the waiver of the FSMA regulation. So FSMA didn't get flexible for small farmers. Now for small farmers, what we need to do? We have another regulation, but this is a guidance, it's not a law, called a GAP. This is not a clothes you buy in the store. It's a good agriculture practices, acronym called GAP. What is a GAP? A comprehensive system for reducing foodborne illness spread primarily by microbes. It is a quality assurance program. You see here, go there, it's all the way from farm to the table. Regarding the GAP, FDA in 1998 have this guidance to minimize microbial safety hazards for fresh produce, fruits and vegetables. This one, honestly, nobody is reading this anymore because more and more they have been adopted by FSMA produce safety regulations. One of the major issues for GAP, it's very simple and straightforward. Number one, safe soil. This is a manure and a compost control. Don't use fresh manure. The manure has been at least stay for 48 hours. Fresh manure, what are pathogens there? E. coli, coliform. Because most of the manure sample is from the animal pooping samples. We need a clean water. Our water should not have any coliform, and the fecal coliform is 0 tolerance. Clean surfaces, no biofilms. Do a good job of sanitation operation procedures. Clean hands. How do we make sure clean hands? Using antimicrobial soap to clean hands. And make sure it is at least 20 seconds, or 25 seconds, or 30 seconds. How we make sure that? You can sing a happy birthday song, is that right? That's like 25 seconds. So that's some of the fundamental mentioned in the GAP. Last one. What are the regulations here? As you take in this class, you should be very familiar with these agencies in the United States. Why? This is a chance for you to know, and later on you can even find a job. Because a couple of years ago, I have a student who is greeted me on the parking lot. He said, Dr. Shen, I got an internship at FSIS because I took your class. And you mentioned about that, and I go to search the job, I got an internship in the summer. So these agencies, they always have a summer internship program, which is you can looking for. What are they? First of all, CDC. Okay, the full name for CDC is tricky. What is called? Centers for Disease Control, not done yet, and prevention. Make sure you know that. What's the function of them? Surveillance. I should refresh these slides. In the old time, when they do the surveillance, it's called food net and puzzle net. It's based on a method called PFGE, 3 bands rule. It is a DNA fingerprinting system. They have a database, and you have a sample. If it's an outbreak sample, they do the PFGE sequencing. If the pattern with their database has less than 3 bands difference, then 95% the pathogen is their pathogen in their database. Start from 2023, their database has been updated. No longer do a PFG. They are doing whole genome sequence, which means a single colony on the agar plates, you could run a whole genome sequencing. We all know ATGC, all the sequencing there. They give you much clear information. So that's CDC. Second, USDA, FSIS. What is the full name? United States Department of Agriculture, Food Safety, and Inspection Services. That called USDA FSIS. What is their regulation for? Is meat, poultry products, and the processed egg. What is processed egg? You have a hamburger, on the middle you put the egg, that's processed egg. The regulation is from FSIS. How about the raw egg? These days it's difficult to get egg. Right now getting better. Some store only 1 box, 1 customer, early in the morning. The raw egg, FDA is for. What's that? Food and Drug Administration. What they are regulated for? Remember FISMA? Comes out there. You can say all others, except here. Including fresh produce, fruits, vegetables, even orange juice. FDA had a template for the orange juice, even seafoods. I want to mention something here. Dr. Kenny later on will mention about the HACCP, the detail. Every HACCP, they have a specific plan for the food processing. You have a beef carcasses, you have a HACCP plan. Ground beef have a HACCP plan. Hot dog have another one. USDA, they all have a generic model for people to use. For example, I use their generic model to create the HACCP plan for the mobile poultry processing in our West Virginia area. But there's one thing, there's no HACCP plan, which is fresh produce. So let's say you are getting a shredded like cantaloupes or like fresh strawberries. They don't have a HACCP plan for that. They are mainly focused on use FISMA as produce rules. So this gives you some of the challenge. And the HACCP basically is focused on the meat products. Okay? So, what are the major things for the exam? The acronym. Well, I need you to write the full name of these agencies in the United States. Certainly you know where it is. And what is their function? Why? It is important. You know this agency. You got to find a job. What else we need to know? What's the 7 principles of HACCP? You don't have to remember, you can copy about that. This is important. What else? What are the 3 alternatives for Listeria mouse pathogens? This is also important. Because that's a huge outbreaks happens. Okay? These are the things you need to know. Last thing, we are getting close to our group presentation. I hope you guys are prepared. Does any of you here who has not signed the sheet? If you've already signed, then that's good. If you have not signed, I will bring next week Tuesday during the exam. I will need to ask people to sign it. Okay? You can find a room in the library and try to finish it.
When are they due?
They will be the summer final report is due by the early May. The presentation, what we will do is basically April 17, 22nd, and 24th. We'll find a person to do maybe 3 here, 3 here, and 3 here. Okay, we'll be average. Not everybody at the last day. We have to spread a little bit. So during the exam, I will be asked you to volunteer to do on the first day. Okay, some of you. Okay.